What up, guys? We're gonna go into another video. We're gonna watch some slapped hands. Don't forget to drop a like, comment, sub. We might do a face reveal at some point. I've been getting comments about that, but for now, this is it real or is it bullshit? Or bullshnizzle, as I would rather prefer. We might later add little stamps. But I like to think of myself a little bit of a professional in this field. So let's go ahead and sniff out the BS from the authenticity. Let's roll.
Do you believe in shadow people? This eerie footage uploaded to Reddit
Yes.
appears to show something quite creepy.
Oh yeah.
That dark shape isn't a pet, and it isn't a person. It darts across the room with a speed that just doesn't look natural. Here's the same clip again, slowed right down so you can get a closer look.
I've actually seen these in real life, not even kidding. Grew up. I've had several instances. We might have a story time at some point. Definitely legit. I think this one gets a stamp of approval out the gate as approved. Not bullshnizzle.
This scary video was posted to Reddit's Unexplained Phenomena forum by user historical_move_2873, where it racked up over 1,000 upvotes and nearly 300 comments in a matter of days. And the comment section quickly turned into something of a confessional. The top reply came from a user who claims they live with one of these things. They say it slowly peeks around the corners of their house, and that they've seen it more than 100 times.
That's what those little bastards do, man. They peek and then they dart. And if you pray the blood of Christ, if you're religious, bless your home, they stay like there's this thing about in Christianity talking about like a hedge of protection. And I've legit seen those things. Like imagine a circle around my place and them on the outside. And it's a maintenance thing, man. They're parasites. Demonic, 100%. Stamped and approved. I think this is legit.
Another commenter described the Hat Man, a shadow figure that stood in their doorway during sleep paralysis, then appeared instantly beside their bed the moment they tried to move. Whatever was zipping around that living room, plenty of people watching are certain they've seen it too. This family put up a home security camera and it took less than 24 hours to catch something they couldn't explain.
Ooh, pretty freaky.
But the activity started long before the camera went in. TikTok user Tranquility Botanicals says things kicked off almost the moment her family moved into the house. Small noises at first, then voices, and not just one. Both she and her husband have heard men, women, and children.
So at first it was just like hearing little noises here and there. That escalated to hearing voices. We both have heard like men and women and children voices.
During their first week in the house, a Bible they kept above their bed hit the floor with a bang. Both parents smell cigarette smoke in a home where nobody smokes, and the spare keys they keep above each door kept turning up on the floor, but only when the family had left the house and come back.
But we would leave for a while and then we'd come
weird.
home and a bunch of the keys would be on the floor. So it wasn't like, oh, like the doors were being shut and so it fell off. No, it was only happening when we would leave and come back and then they'd be on the floor. And actually, it hasn't happened in a while, but it was happening like daily.
Then there's her 5-year-old who insists his closet stays shut, because if it isn't, he says something else will open it.
And then just last night, my 5-year-old was saying that he likes his closet to be shut because if it doesn't get shut, then it will get opened by something else.
Once the cameras went in,
It's
the
not
footage
terrifying.
started backing them up. In this hallway clip, listen for what sounds like a child's giggle. and watch the dad because he hears it in real time. Moments later, a different camera inside one of
That one could be legit. There is audible phenomena. You know, EVP, electronic voice phenomena. I mean, it is a legit thing. I've heard things. Um, could be legit. They do like to mimic.
the kids' bedrooms picks up something else. Banging, and what many listeners say sounds like whispering.
I don't know if he's discovered his ear and that's why he's playing with it, or is it hers?
But it's this next clip that sent the account viral, racking up over 1.5 million views. Nobody touches it, nothing's near it, and it rolls anyway.
Sounds like they have some kind of air though in there.
The mum wrote that whatever's in the house bothers them all the time, and that honestly, it's more annoying than anything. When Skeptics suggested a draft under the door might have nudged the ball, the couple filmed a follow-up on the same camera.
Where are you? Hold on, I'm trying to prove something. I'm trying to prove something.
They opened doors and wafted them to push air through the room.
Oh, that's exactly what I was doing.
Yeah.
Bro's got the hipster fit to a T.
Observe.
Well, then here, and then
They walked circles around the ball. The husband even sat on it. And with the heating running the whole time, nothing they did could make that ball move the way it did in the viral clip.
and then one. So you can see the ball moving because it's a ball of air.
As for why they're still living there, the answer's simple. They've got a lease. And according to the mum, the activities never felt threatening, just persistent. Scary videos usually do the heavy lifting on this channel, but every now and then a single photograph stops everyone in their tracks. This one was taken in Papua New Guinea about a week after a man buried his wife. He's kneeling at her graveside, his young daughter perched on his shoulder. At first glance, it's simply a portrait of grief, but look closely at the man's left shoulder, just beneath his beard. There's a hand resting there, and when the image is zoomed in, one detail becomes very hard to ignore.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
The fingernails are painted red, and the hand looks far too large to belong to a child.
Probably a grandmother in spirit, dude. Who knows?
The photo was shared on Reddit's Paranormal forum by user Sids45, who says the image had already gone viral in their country. On Reddit, it's pulled in over 1,600 upvotes and more than 200 comments. The obvious explanation is that it's the daughter's hand wrapped around her dad's neck from behind. The poster raised that possibility themselves. But the shape, the size, and the texture all resemble an adult woman's hand.
Yeah, elderly almost.
And the lighting and shadows sit consistently with the rest of the photo, which makes a clumsy edit much harder to argue. The poster says they've reached out to the man in the picture, and they're still waiting to hear back. Until then, the photo simply shows a grieving husband at his wife's graveside and a woman's hand resting gently on his shoulder.
Pretty creepy. I don't know. I'm indifferent towards that one. Could be.
Stuck in traffic late at night, this driver glanced up at the preview screen on his cabin camera. What he saw there made him grab his phone and start filming.
To be clear, for the sake of fairness and authenticity to the Bullshnizzle and legit ratings, I would, that last one, have to give it neither. Maybe leaning towards the Bullshnizzle because you could Photoshop anything in, AI, you know, whatever it may be. So, don't know.
Y yo aquí en el carro cagando.
On that small screen, lit up in the camera's red night vision glow, there appears to be a figure in the back seat. A woman with a pale face sitting directly behind him.
Oh, that's creepy.
But when he turns his phone around to film the actual back seat, it's empty. Narrating in Spanish, TikTok user Jorgenava13 sums it up plainly. One camera shows someone, the other doesn't, and there's nobody there. He admits he's sitting in the car, absolutely terrified. The clip exploded, pulling in over 200,000 likes and tens of thousands of shares. And with that attention came the skeptics. One commenter pointed out that the driver's hand never appeared on the camera's preview screen while he was filming, suggesting the whole thing didn't add up. So he posted a follow-up. Filmed in daylight with his mum in the passenger seat, he holds his hand directly in front of the camera and films the preview screen. His hand doesn't show up there either. The angle he films from sits in a blind spot on the small display.
Cámara y no se ve mi mano. Ah, bueno, ahí ya se ve el teléfono. Pero hasta ahí no se ve mi mano. Ajá. Entonces,
Yeah,
The
it's got like
driver,
a
for his part,
it's got like a wide angle lens, like, so he doesn't have to be right in front of it. That's weird.
isn't interested in the debate. His response to the doubters was simple. Everyone believes what they want to believe. He posted what he saw, and that's it. Whoever the woman on that screen was, only one camera ever saw her, and she was sitting right behind him.
y pues no hay nadie.
In this nursing home, there's one room the staff won't put anyone in anymore. According to TikTok user Camila Torres, nurses used to joke about switching shifts just to avoid it. She says residents placed in the room suffered sudden episodes.
That last one, I don't know, man. That's another tough one because anyone that I've seen like that in the past, I always think there could be some kind of a video manipulation. Like if you're into videography or have the knowledge in that kind of avenue. But I also don't know. So it again gets not a Bullshnizzle rank, but a shrug emoji. We don't know. Let's move forward.
And some passed away. Even walking past the doorway was enough to give staff chills. Eventually, they stopped placing anyone in it at all, and the room earned itself a grim nickname, the Death Room. One day, a resident asked for something unusual. She wanted the room cleansed, and she wanted it recorded.
Heavenly Father, I ask for your divine presence to fill this space. May your light shine brightly through every room, cleansing this home of any negativity,
This is what
fear,
you should
or
do.
unrest. Let peace dwell
But it's what happens during that prayer that sent this scary video to over 12 million views.
surrounding it with your angels and shielding it from harm and evil. May every door be a passage to your grace and every window open to your blessings.
Yep, see it lift?
In Jesus' name.
Did you catch it? Watch the rosary in her hand.
And every window open to your blessings.
About 40 seconds in, the beads suddenly lift into the air, arcing toward the darkness of the open doorway, as if something inside the room reached out and pulled at them.
And evil. May every door be a passage to your grace and every window open to your blessings. In Jesus' name.
Skeptics would say a hanging strand of beads swings with every movement of the hand that holds it. But watch the direction. The rosary doesn't swing with her body. It lifts away from her, towards the room. The prayer was finished. The door was closed. To this day, that room remains empty.
Evil. May every door be a passage to your grace and every window open to your blessings. In Jesus' name.
The creepiest part of this photo
I would have to say full on legit on that last one personally. Stamped and approved, legit.
is that the woman who took it had no idea what she'd captured until the next day. She'd been walking through a cemetery in New Orleans, a city famous for its above-ground tombs and its reputation as one of the most haunted places in America. She took a photo of one of the old crypts and thought nothing more of it. It was only the following day, flicking back through the pictures with her husband, that she saw it. And once the image is lightened, it's impossible to miss. A figure in dark clothing with a pale
See, a lot of people think like this is straight up fake because it's so clear, but dude, I swear to God, I was walking a dog named Snuggles at the end of the street, turned behind me and saw this solid black silhouette of a kid just standing there, almost in a T pose, like in video games, except arms to the side, thumbs, fingers apart, looking like lobster claws. Didn't move for like 5, 10 minutes. I was trying to zoom in with my phone and everything, couldn't see anything. Turned around after I saw these two people walking their dogs right under a street lamp, and this thing was still solid black, and they were illuminated. I kid you not. And then I turned around, started walking back, like, okay, this is weird. And then they ran up. I heard footsteps running up behind me, and I turned around and I saw this pale-faced child say, "Ha ha, I scared you." 100% legit. Looked just like that. Blacker than black, and the pale face.
Face standing at the edge of the frame, not off in the distance, right beside her shoulder, close enough to
Just a little bit of story time.
touch. The photo was shared on Reddit's Ghosts forum by user outside_jacket_8661, and she was adamant about one thing. She'd deliberately only taken photos when there wasn't a single person nearby. In her words, there is no way someone just happened to step into frame. The comments section split right down the middle. The top reply, with over 800 upvotes, put it bluntly, someone was standing there. Another commenter fired back that someone could post the realest ghost picture ever taken, and Reddit would still find a way to discredit it. But here's the thing, both explanations are unsettling. Because if the skeptics are right, then a complete stranger stood silently in the dark, inches behind this woman, in an empty cemetery, and she never knew they were there. For years, this family says something has been active inside their Southern California home, but lately, according
Yeah, that last one I would definitely put a stamped and approved legit on that one.
to the mum, it's changed its behaviour. It started targeting her daughter. She says it began with toys moving on their own. Then one day, her daughter came running to her saying something had touched her head. Then the cameras caught this. And it's the next clip filmed on the bedroom's night vision camera that viewers have found the most disturbing. Her arm appears to be pulled, tugged by something that simply isn't there. Here's the thing, this isn't a new account posting one lucky clip. The family's TikTok account, Always4Family, has scary videos stretching back years. All the way back in 2021, a Ring camera in their daughter Mackenzie's bedroom captured a set of toy golf clubs toppling over all by themselves in a completely empty room. In that clip, you can hear the mum call out from another room, asking what the noise was. Nobody had been in there at all.
I don't know, man, because I'm skeptical of this. If it dates back, it's one of two things. It's documentation or it's elaborate hoax, and they're just trying to gain a following. And if you look at these golf clubs, like, check this out. Check the top one.
In a completely empty room.
Like, look at this one right here, and it even looks like it got tugged a little bit. Maybe I'm reaching, but see? I don't know.
In that clip, you can hear the mum call out from another room, asking what the noise was. Nobody had been in there at all. "5 years of activity, and the pattern seems to be narrowing. First it was objects in an empty room, then toys moving right beside her. Now, if the mum's right, it's moved on to her daughter. Whatever's inside that house, it doesn't appear to be leaving. It seems to have made its choice." In January 2021, a mum took her daughter to the Capitol Theatre to see Frozen, snapping
Bullshnizzle or legit on the last one? I don't know. That's another kind of tough one, but the evidence wasn't so just definitive. I'm gonna have to call Bullshnizzle on that one.
photos all day to capture the memories. Those photos then sat on her phone untouched for 4 years. It wasn't until last year, scrolling back through her camera roll, that she spotted something she'd never noticed before. This photo was sent in to us directly by a viewer named Kara, and in amongst the packed theatre crowd, one figure stands out. A woman who appears semi-transparent, as though the crowd is showing through her. And to Kara's eye, she's dressed in attire from a different time entirely.
See, but that's how they show up, like, believe it or not, haven't seen them. They're like in those old-timey kind of clothes. Another story time. I was 9 years old, maybe a little older, in this old house that apparently things were practiced in. And I remember seeing a Victorian little girl, just clean as clean, with like a aura about her, like a white light kind of. And I hope it was angelic. I pray it was, but that spooked me. And it looked just like that, but it was more clear. Of course, we already look like we're, videotaping on an old flip phone. So, but this may be legit, in my opinion.
Skeptics would point to motion blur. In a dim theatre, a phone's shutter slows down and anyone moving through the shot can smear into a ghostly, see-through streak. But that doesn't explain the outfit. Kara's photo sat unnoticed in her camera roll for 4 years, which does make you wonder what might be sitting unnoticed in yours.
I'd say legit.
Sometimes the internet's strangest mysteries don't come from haunted houses or dark forests. Sometimes they come from a $5 tub of Greek yogurt. A Reddit user going by the username Lexi opened a fresh tub of yogurt, flipped the lid over and found a question waiting for them on the underside. Written by hand in white letters on a strip of blue tape, it reads, "Why are you breastfeeding?" Nobody knows who wrote it, nobody knows how it got inside, and nobody has the faintest idea what it's supposed to mean. Whoever stuck that note under the lid had no way of knowing who'd buy the tub, which somehow makes the question even stranger. It wasn't written for anyone. It was written for whoever opened it. The post shot to over 3,000 upvotes on Reddit's Strange forum, and the top comments spoke for most of us. They said they'd toss that yogurt immediately because a mystery sticky note and a white blob is a hard no. The uploader agreed on one point. They definitely weren't eating it, but they were absolutely taking it back to the store because it cost $5.
Rigged.
Not long after it went viral, the post was quietly removed by the forum's moderators. The photos are gone. The question is not. Somewhere out there, someone is writing messages inside yogurt lids.
I think OP won its up dudes.
It's time for the Weird News Roundup, where we run through the strangest stories making headlines around the world this week. First up, police in Moses Lake, Washington have cracked a case with help from a very unlikely source, a Ouija board. On Friday the 3rd of July, someone broke into a car on East Nelson Road, ripping the stereo out of the dashboard and making off with house keys, prescription medication, and a Ouija board. As luck would have it, an officer had chatted with a woman earlier that same day and noticed she was carrying a Ouija board in her bag. He thought nothing of it at the time, but when the theft report came in, he remembered the board, tracked the woman down and found her still carrying it along with the rest of the stolen items. The 36-year-old tried to run, but was arrested and booked into Grant County Jail on 5 charges. Apparently, the spirit world never warned her the police were coming. Speaking of things lurking in the night, residents of Zexeu, a small town in Pernambuco, Brazil, spent weeks convinced a werewolf was stalking their streets. A figure in a snarling mask, wide-brimmed black hat, gloves and a long
Come
black
on,
cape kept
dude.
appearing in the early hours, and the videos spread like wildfire online. Police finally tracked down the culprit on the very same Friday. A 42-year-old local man named Elivaldo, whose costume was actually modelled on the Creeper from the Jeepers Creepers films. His explanation? Workmates had always joked that his usual hat and coat made him look like the movie monster, and someone suggested he lean into it. So he did at 2 in the morning, all over town. He was let off with a minor citation for disturbing public order. The werewolf of Zexeo, it turns out, just really loved his own bit. Next, one of America's strangest modern treasure mysteries has reached an ending. Sort of. For 8 years, father and son treasure hunters Dennis and Ken Parada have been locked in a legal battle with the FBI over Dents Run, Pennsylvania.
Well, I think we're gonna call it here, guys. Probably finish up the other half. If we could hit even 10 likes, that would be insane. Love you guys. Appreciate the support. If you want to see anything else, computer repair assistance with running things fast and efficiently, new games, optimization, whatever it may be, or just follow me along while I during my studies. Online curriculum type stuff involving code and engineering, robotics, whatever it may be. I'm kind of dabbling a lot, but sub, like, comment. Let's get going. Appreciate you guys. Peace.